This is a pre-recorded session from The Real Wheel. The spins are recorded live and unedited, and the results are still random. Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Welcome. It's Monday the 25th of July 2022, and here are your spins from The Real Wheel for today. Starting afresh as always, as we do from the Big Green Zero at the start of the week. Let's get the 20 minutes up and running, and let's get some spins on the way, spinning from zero. So I hope everyone's doing fit and well. I am still very much unwell with COVID at the moment. I'm in the nasal and coughing and sneezing phase, so apologies for any abrupt microphone mutes that might happen. Our first result of the working week together is the huge and rouge. It's 36 red, even and high for 36, third column, third dozen, part of the tier. Now I had a dream last night that I completely forgot how to spin. So I'm very nervous about spinning today. And as you can notice, you can see 36 is our first hot number, of course, because it's our only number. So yeah, I'm very nervous about spinning at the moment. And from 36 we're going to the other end of the final six line on the table. It's 31 black. Odd and high for 31. First column, third dozen. And it's part of the Orphaland section of the wheel. So our final section this week to come out first is the Voisin. And into 13, 1-3. Black, odd and low for 13. First column, middle dozen. Part of the tier section. New spin on the way. So I'm not going to be talking quite as much as normal over the coming few sessions. And that result is in the Voisin. It's 29 black. Odd and high for 29 in the Voisin section of the wheel, middle column, third dozen. So I hope everyone is doing well. I woke up to some fantastic news that the lovely Alan Cummings has become our first ever patron at Patreon. If you want to join Alan in some great company there, then patreon.com/therealwheel. You help me continue to bring the spins. Legs 11. Middle column, first dozen. Odd and low, part of the tier. Next result on the way. It's the number of love, 14 red. Even and low for 14, middle column, in the middle dozen. Part of the Orphaland section. So over the course of this week, we're going to get through about 250 spins together, sometimes a few more, sometimes a few fewer. Number 3 red. Odd and low for number 3 in the Voisin section of the wheel. First dozen, third column. No reoccurrences to talk about yet on the marquee. All unique numbers. And another unique number is Sabotage, number 17. Middle column for 17, middle dozen. Orphaland section of the wheel, a black, odd and low number. So with the Real Wheel, I always record the pre-recorded sessions a few days in advance, give myself a buffer in case I'm unwell, like with COVID. Or if I have prior commitments. From Sabotage we go to Double Carpet, 33. Third column, third dozen. Odd and high. Part of the tier section. So if you do pledge on Patreon, the next recorded session that I do, I will add your name to the thank you list at the end. However, if I've pre-recorded a couple of days, please do bear in mind that your name might not appear for a while. And it's always nice to do it twice. There's nothing sweeter than a repeater, very early repeater for 33. Third column, third dozen, and part of the TS section. Now last week, in fact, I did a repeater of 33 as well. Don't ask me how I remember that I did a repeater of 33, I just do remember. I thought we were getting a treblina there, but instead we're back in the number of love, 14 red. Even and low for 14. Middle column, middle dozen. Part of the Orphaland section. And we're in 26 black. Very hot number last week was 26 black. In the Voisin section of the wheel. In the middle column, in the third dozen. Very much not the first dozen. Get it right. So, as I'm recording this, I'm trying to figure out my plans for the next couple of days. And at the moment, self-isolation is still the name of the game. Sabotage, another reoccurrence. 3 reoccurrences so far. Sabotage, 17, middle column, middle dozen, Orphaland section of the wheel. Black, odd, and a low number. Marquee is getting very, very populated already. This is going to be spin number 14. Now, 19 might seem like an arbitrary number of results to have on the marquee. I'll tell you why, after I've told you that this is 15 black, an odd number in the Voisin section of the wheel, in the third column, and the second dozen. So, half of the wheel would be 18.5 results, so you should have roughly one of each section, one of each even chance on the wheel. So 18 low numbers, for instance, you should have 9 of each. And then, I appreciate I'm talking garbage. I will rephrase it after I tell you this is another reoccurrence, the Huge and Rouge, 36 red. Even and high for 36, third column, third dozen, part of the tier. So if you have a 0 on the marquee, then you should have 9 of each of the even chances. That was the idea. We shall see how it works in practice. 18 red. Of course, 18 the age you need to be to play roulette in the United Kingdom. Red, even and low for 18. Part of the Voisin section of the wheel. Third column. Second dozen. Now, I personally have very rarely had the chance to play roulette. I was a croupier at a very young age. And so, I've always been on this side of the table, but I do like playing along in my head. 35 black is your next result. Black 35 in the middle column, third dozen. Black odd and high, part of the Voisin section of the wheel. I know it might not seem it a lot of the time, but I am actually a croupier. My problem is talking and doing stuff with my hands at the same time. Number of love, hot number. 14 becoming the runaway hot number at the moment. Middle column, middle dozen, Orphaland section of the wheel, red, even, and a low number. And we are in the Snowman, number 8. Even and low for number 8 in the TS section of the wheel, middle column, first dozen. 8 black. So once again, apologies about the state of my voice. I'm trying the absolute hardest to sound at least vaguely human at the moment. 21 roulette is your next result. Red odd and high for 21, middle dozen, third column in the voisin section of the wheel. Now after the last session I gave the wheel a bit of a polish. I've given the balls a bit of a clean. Gone around the pockets, got rid of any gunk that may have fallen in there in the last week's session. So I do maintain this wheel quite well. It's got a couple of scuffs on it, but they were there from when I got this wheel. 19 red, one of Alan's numbers. I believe 19 is Alan's birthday. I think 19 is Alan's birthday. I want to say the 19th of November. And then I think the 22nd of August is the date Alan got the dog. 19, by the way, is red odd high in the TS section, in the voisin section of the wheel, I beg your pardon, first column, middle dozen. And from 19 we go to number 6, a black even and low number in the Orphaland section of the wheel. This time in the first dozen, and we're in the third column. Hot numbers at this juncture, we have 33, 17 and 36 on 2 spins, 14 on 3 spins. Now when we get full completion I'll be able to bring the cold and quiet numbers into play. But until then you'll have to listen out for the cues, I suppose, when we get close to missing numbers. 15 black is your next result. Let's get 15 confirmed. Third column. Seems to be saying that a lot. Middle dozen. Black, odd and low. Part of the voisin section. I think it'll be a nice long shower in between sessions for me. Try and clear out the airways. The Enigma number 23 is your next result. Middle column, middle dozen. Low, odd and high. Low, odd and high. Red, odd and high. And part of the tier. I do apologise for the nonsense spewing out of my mouth. Feel free to mute me today. I completely understand. Low, odd and high. That's a new one even for me. Goodness me. Number 28 is the next result. 28 black, an even number in the third dozen between 19 and 36. In the first column and part of the voisin section. 28 was the age when I first started going live doing this. So you can all figure out my age from there on. And Keanu, I believe is the dog's name. That is 22 black, another one of Alan's numbers. In the voisin section of the wheel, it's in the first column, middle dozen. Black, even and high. And we're in red number 1. Low and odd for number 1, first column, first dozen, and part of the Orphaland section of the wheel. Orphaland seem to be doing quite well for themselves. 14, 17, 14 again, 6, and now 1 on the marquee for the Orphalands. And Sweet 16 is the next result. That was the final number we spun. The last number we were waiting for last week was 16, and it's out early this time. Red, even and low for 16, first column, second dozen, parts of the tiers section of the wheel. Tiers de cylindre, third of the wheel in French, because the numbers 27 red through to 33 black clockwise are the tiers section. It's 12 numbers, which without the 0 would be a third of the wheel. And talking of 27 red, my favourite number is in red on high, TS section. Third column, third dozen. Added a few different tracks to the music for this week. You might have spotted them towards the tail end of last week. And it's always nice to do it twice. There's nothing sweeter than a repeater, especially on my favourite number, 27 red. TS section of the wheel, third column, third dozen, red, odd and high. And that means we have done a repeater on both extremes of the TS section. Did a repeater of 33 earlier on. That's one extreme of the TR. Repeater of 27 on this particular occasion. And from that we go from my number to Alan's birthday number 19, red, odd and high for 19, first column, middle dozen, part of the Voisin section of the wheel. I actually have my energy back. I'm feeling quite good. I just do not sound good at all, and I'm very incomprehensible at times. Apparently, for a large portion of last night, I was talking utter gibberish, more so than normal. 26 black is the next result, middle column, third dozen, black, even and high, part of the Voisin section. And your next result is 3 red, pocket hopping. Red 3 in the Voisin section of the wheel, third column, first dozen, red, odd and low. Can you believe we've only got 3.5 minutes left of this session? It's flown by. 14's still the hot number, but we've got plenty of numbers on 2 spins. 25 red is the next result. 25 red in the first column in the third dozen. Red, odd, high, part of the Voisin section of the wheel. 25 red on the very edge of the Voisin. The Voisin is 22 black through to 25 red clockwise. And 33 black, making its third appearance. 33 black, odd and high, third column, third dozen, TS section. Now I know quite a few of you like to analyse my spins really in depth, more so than I can do on the fly here. Have you noticed any signatures that I have that I might not have noticed? I know that I quite often spin repeaters, and I know I quite often pocket hop. 9 red is the next result. Third column, first dozen, Orphaland section of the wheel. Red, odd and low. So, a lot of my spins are 1 to 2 pockets away from the previous result. More so than would be expected to be the statistical average. On the marquee you can see we have the repeater of 27. 16 and 1 are separated by 33. 22 and 28 are separated by 7. Talk of the devil, there's 28. Black, even and low. Black, even and high, I beg your pardon, for 28. Third dozen, first column. Part of the Voisin. So yeah, 22 and 28 are separated by 1 number. 19 and 21 are separated by 1 number. Do you see where I'm coming from there? I quite often spin in the same section 2 spins in a row. And red 1 is your next result. Low and odd, first column, first dozen, part of the Orphaland section of the wheel. Let's see if it happens this time. I do try to vary my spins as much as possible. I definitely do it more with the anti-clockwise ball, so the other direction to this one. 19 red, getting quite warm. 19 red, Alan's birthday, in the Voisin section of the wheel. In the first column, middle dozen, a red, odd and high number. And can you believe already this is the penultimate spin? Second to last spin, we've got 1 more spin together here on the first session of the week. We are through the Monday session. And that is 20 black. Middle column, middle dozen, black, even and high, part of the Orphaland section. And we have a nice long spin to finish proceedings. I get to sit down. So we've done 41 spins together in this 20 minutes. Not bad at all. And our final result is the Snowman number 8. Black, even and low for number 8, middle column in the first dozen, part of the tier. So we have 3 hot numbers at the moment, 14, 33 and 19. We shall see what happens in the next coming sessions. But for now, I'm going to say thank you all so much. An extra special thank you to Alan Cummings for being the first patron here at The Real Wheel. If you would like to support me, please do feel free to click the subscribe button. Please do comment, like, give any feedback you like. And if you really, really want to support, please do consider the Patreon. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all very, very soon.